Hello and welcome to Oldie but a Goodie, the show where we watch movies from 1994 as they came out through 1994, the week they came out. We're watching The Shawshank Redemption this week.
Baby's Day Out?
No,
Not Baby's Day Out? Oh,
no.
okay.
Wait, did you watch Baby's Day Out for this?
Yes, I was under the impression we were watching Baby's Day Out.
Oh no. Well, I've seen Baby's Day Out.
Yeah.
So do you want to just do a thing about it, the Baby's Day Out?
Sure.
Okay. So what did you think about the baby from Baby's Day Out?
I thought this kid, I liked his energy. I liked his balls. I liked him lighting a cigarette lighter at the guy's crotch.
That was like...
That's really...
Like him having it under there and like the burning of the hand, I was like, damn. And I felt the tension.
I liked the connection.
I liked how they dragged out that scene.
I liked the connection between the baby and the gorilla.
Yes.
I thought
that was a big.
That was
a big scene.
That scene from...
Especially since it took 10 minutes for that scene to end.
Oh dear. I was listening to David Tennant's podcast on the way here, and he mentioned Baby's Day Out.
Really?
And I went, huh.
What did he say?
He said, I watched that when I was a kid.
Nice. Thanks, David Tennant.
In all seriousness, Baby's Day Out
and
Shawshank Redemption, Toy Story and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang are probably the movies I've seen the most time.
Okay.
So when I was a kid, I watched Baby's Day Out just... Yeah,
interesting.
Every day. Maybe.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, for a while.
Wait.
3 to 5.
So how many times do you think you've seen that movie?
Baby's Day Out?
Yes.
At least 40.
Ooh.
That's 40 more times than I would have.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Wow. No, we are talking Shawshank today.
Yeah. Sorry to tell you this. How about we just pause the podcast, you watch it.
Yeah, alright. Well, actually... I did say Shawshank is one of the movies I've seen the most time.
Then there you go.
I probably watched Shawshank once a fortnight when I was 15.
When you were 15.
Wow.
Yeah. That's big. That's good.
Yeah.
It is a good movie.
So a lot of these, I was watching it again like 2 nights ago, and a lot of the lines were just soldered into my brain.
I love it when you go back to a film and that happens.
Yeah.
I had that for Toy Story 2 when I was like rewatching it for the new one, and I went, wow, I've seen this so many times. I know exactly what's coming.
Hi, I'm Zach. This is Sandra.
Hello.
This is the introduction where we introduce one of our good friends who probably has a name. So that's good.
I likely have a name.
You probably have a name.
Probably have one. Probably matters.
Yes, it is Jack McGorlick. We are in the... Well, it's not really a sketch group anymore, is it?
It's evolved beyond that.
But Paul Noodle PhD candidate, along with Jacob from the Forrest Gump episode, we thought we'd ask you, Jack, what is one of your favourite films? And you said Shawshank, and I went, well, that came out in 94. We'll get you on that episode. Yeah. It's been a long time coming, and now we're here.
I'm grateful to be here.
So here we go.
It's also a good movie.
It is also a good movie.
Good
I'm
choice.
so glad we finally had a good movie.
It's very convenient.
Because a lot of the other movies that we have observed have
recently
not had that title of good movie.
No.
Which has been a bit unfortunate.
For me.
Yes,
because you've been enjoying them.
Time Cop was great.
Yeah.
And Sandra just hates it for literally no reason.
The reason is that it's bad.
Wow.
Your other option for this week was Terminal Velocity, which is a movie where Charlie Sheen is like a skydiving superstar that works with the military forces or something.
Yes.
And it's like an action comedy.
And as much as I love Charlie Sheen, it shows the other movie.
Alright, well let's get into Shawshank. You haven't seen this before, Zach, before this point.
I thought I had seen this, but I definitely had not.
Okay.
So there you go.
That's good.
And spoiler, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great movie, and it's a shame I hadn't seen it.
I was watching it again, I was like, to watch this again having not seen it. Like, to watch this again for the first time.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Where you don't know what's coming. I don't want to spoil it right up the top, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
I took notes for like the first quarter and then forgot.
Because
I was so stuck in the movie, I forgot to take
it's so good.
So yeah.
I think I caught the end of it on like Channel 7 once when I was like 6 and went, that looks like a good movie.
Yeah.
And then I think I went to like Video Easy or whatever it was and like rented it out a couple of years later and was like, this is
Video
this is
Easy.
great.
Yeah. Glad that they're still around. They died.
Yeah. Can I tell you the story of when I first saw Shawshank?
Definitely.
Go.
So, me and my family would, as you did in the mid 2000s, would go to Video Easy.
Of course.
Yep. The place to hang, the place to be.
Video Easy at South Gateway.
Ooh,
South Gateway Shopping Centre.
Nice. Shout out.
In Langwarrin.
Shout out.
Nice.
Shout out to
I think
Langwarrin.
it's a Jets Fitness now.
Nice.
The Video Easy.
Shout out to James.
The Video Easy in Sunbury has turned into the storage facility for the furniture shop across the road.
Nice. Yeah, that furniture shop is eternal.
I love it. Okay, so we went to this Video Easy, and you know how you squabble with your family trying to decide. It's like,
of course,
we had this thing. You get to pick the weekly. We had a deal as a family. There are 3 kids in my family. We each get to pick a weekly. Then my mum and dad pick a weekly, and so we have 5 weeklies all up, and that's usually the deal.
Okay.
Right.
Sometimes we just get the weeklies, and we try and decide which movie we're going to watch that night. And everyone was like, "Yeah, Shawshank Redemption, Shawshank Redemption."
Nice.
However, on the corner of the Video Easy DVD case,
Oh no,
it had drama. Me being 11 at the time, I wanted action or I wanted comedy.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to go for a drama.
Oh, drama, gross. Get it
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah,
I want explosions.
Get out of town. Then, after a lot of cajoling, I finally capitulate and we go and we watch Shawshank Redemption. And I never judged a Video Easy DVD by its drama.
What a redemption
drama.
arc. Yes. Wow.
Yeah, it truly,
Nice.
that was my Shawshank Redemption.
That's
Wow,
good.
yeah, that was your own personal Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Wow.
It seems like a lot of people at the time had the same sort of experience going into it, which we'll get to.
Yeah,
There you
okay.
go.
Okay, so it was released September 23rd in 94. It is based off the novella Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption by Stephen King, which was published in the collection Different Seasons from 1982. The novella itself, though, is based off another short story from the 1870s called God Sees the Truth But Waits by Leo Tolstoy. I read the book to get ready because I've been on a Stephen King binge recently, just like reading heaps of his stuff. It's such a good short story.
Stephen King.
A Stephen King.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's like 130 pages. I read it in a day.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
I don't, it is, like, I read some Stephen King. I don't like his writing, his prose that much. Like, I don't find his books that engaging. But the amount of, like, just concepts... Like how many of his books have been turned into great movies is mind-blowing.
Yeah. And how many of them have been turned into terrible movies as well. It's great, but the book is good. It's told entirely from Red's perspective, and it's classic Stephen King in that it jumps around all over the place.
Gotcha.
He'll tell you the ending halfway through the book, and then like how you get there, which I really liked.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
I think it's good. I think it's a solid story.
What was the differences between the movie and the book? Where
I feel like the book is definitely Red's story, whereas the movie I think is more Andy's story.
it's like 50-50.
Yeah,
50.
it's about like 50-50 in the.
It's about Andy, but it's from Red's perspective.
That is the book, yeah. Whereas I think you lose a little bit of that in the movie. The biggest difference was the inclusion of a villain in the Warden. Because in the book, there are like 5 kind of wardens that come through during their time, and they're not really a big presence in the book.
Really?
Yeah. Whereas they
Was that plot of the warden being corrupt added to the movie?
Yes.
Okay.
That was entirely.
Oh,
added.
okay.
But I think it works for the film.
Yeah.
Because you want that antagonist in there, just being like a.
Yeah, no, it worked pretty well.
So,
Yeah, I love that. And when I was watching it the other night, I was like, I can't imagine any other actor being the warden.
Oh,
like, he was so good.
He's fantastic.
He was so
does
good in
really
it.
well.
Yeah. So the movie itself was written and directed by Frank Darabont, who went on to do 2 other Stephen King adaptations. You got The Green Mile, classic, another great one, and The Mist, which is more of a horror. It's pretty good.
I haven't seen that.
Not his best one, but like it's alright. It's pretty good. And a couple of years ago, King, he went on the record and said that Shawshank Redemption and Stand By Me are the best films that are based off his books.
Damn.
So
I really liked
That's
Misery
fair.
as well.
Misery's excellent as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Stand By Me, far out, man.
Yeah. Up until this point, Darabont didn't really do anything like this previously. He was best known for horror. So he wrote Nightmare on Elm Street 3, which I think is the worst one. I don't know.
Nice.
The Elm Street franchise is a mess. He wrote The Fly
Yes.
2. He wrote the remake of The Blob, which I think one of the other films that we've done has the director who did that as well.
Oh, okay.
So that's interesting, just a connection. And he also worked on the Tales from the Crypt TV show and a personal favourite of mine, Young Indiana Jones. You want Indiana Jones, but it's educational.
Yeah, I love education. Woo! As a small child, that's what I look for in movies.
Let's get into the reception. 90% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah,
which is, you know,
fair. That's what I would
decent.
give it.
An A+ on Cinema Score, and for 11 years straight, it still got it. Number one film in the IMDb top 250 films of all time, chosen by the public. It's constantly one of the best movies of all time. It's always in that conversation. It cost him $25 million to make. What do you think it made in the box office?
I'd say it didn't do excellent. I'd say 130 mil.
130 mil.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna lowerball it. Go like 90 mil.
It made 16 million on its first
16?
theatrical run. It completely
it
bombed.
really bombed.
A lot of people
Wow.
say it's because no one cared about prison movies at the time.
Ah.
There were no female characters either.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But
No, there was the cheating
There
wife,
was
which is
the
great
wife.
representation of women.
I saw that on a Cinematropes thing they were talking about on the like cassette release. They had the image of the wife hooking up with the guy who's cheating on. And it's one of the tropes is like using that in advertising when it was all of 2 seconds in the film.
It's barely
Yeah.
in it. At the very
It was
start.
the only
Yeah.
sliver of female skin that was in the entire
Nice.
movie.
No, there was the old film of the lady
The stock
who
footage, of
all
course.
the
Yeah.
which
It's
is
actually
also another great representation of women.
It's actually they have so few women there so that you can really empathize with the sexual frustration that the inmates are feeling.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
That's my one criticism.
But basically, what happened is it got the Oscar nominations.
yeah.
And then they put it back into theaters. Pretty similar like what happened to Green Book recently. It
Okay.
went back in theaters, pumped up the box office to around 60 million, made a profit, was a hit on home release.
Wow.
Which happens with a lot of these Oscar contenders.
Yeah, no, I did not expect it to be that low. Like,
Yeah.
it actually bombed.
It bombed and then made just enough of a profit
Wow.
to cross the line.
yeah.
But yeah, no, there we go. So let's jump into the plot then.
Let's just jump into it.
The font is so iconic.
All right, yeah. Let's talk about the font.
Okay.
What do you like best about the font?
Okay, so this is what I like best about the font.
Yeah.
You sit down, you turn the lights off in your lounge
Yeah,
room.
Of course.
Yeah.
The movie starts, the font comes up with, I believe it's the actor?
Well, first you got Castle Rock Entertainment.
Castle Rock
Yes.
Entertainment, yeah.
And then... Yeah, I think it's the actors first.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, you've got the font with something about the movie. Maybe
Yeah.
the name, I can't remember.
Yeah, who cares?
But anyway, then as the font comes up, the dun 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 dun
yeah,
dun,
the
dun,
classic
dun,
thing
dun,
you
the ink
associate
spots.
with the prison
Yeah.
music.
The If I Didn't Care by the
Slow
Ink Spots.
band.
Yeah.
I love that
good.
song.
Yeah.
And that gives me a little bit of tingles.
Yeah, it sets the scene.
Not heaps, but a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
More
so-
tingles come later, but
Yeah.
It's a solid font.
Him in his car,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And
that
it-
opening.
and then it cuts
yeah.
back. Then it cuts back and forth between the courtroom and the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I don't know if I liked it opening on the courtroom. After reading the book, which
What's
opens...
the difference?
The book is hey, I'm Red. Let me tell you about Shawshank Prison. And it takes about 10 pages before Annie's even in the picture.
Oh,
Which I
okay.
kind of prefer.
That's interesting.
Yeah, okay.
But it makes sense
I see how
to
it's more
start the
Red's
film.
Red story in the book then. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a cold opening.
Yeah,
I
about
am
true.
a sucker for a cold
It's
opening.
a good cold opening
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yes,
So,
so it opens with Andy. I think it's late 40s it opens in.
Yeah. I think it's 47.
Something, I think it, 47. He's in his car. He's outside of the house where his wife and a golf
He's
pro.
getting
Golf
cucked.
pro.
He's getting
He's getting cucked by a
He's
golf
getting
pro.
cut
watching
to
them
the
to get
car.
cucked.
He drinking.
Yeah.
He got a gun.
He got that
Oh
gun.
no. We cut to courtroom and they're like, yo, you were there. You were intoxicated. They died.
Yeah.
And you were pretty mad.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that you threw away the gun and now we have no evidence
Okay.
that it was you.
Best line, one
But-
of the best lines in the film. Okay, we dredged that river for 3 days and we couldn't find that gun. Doesn't that strike you as a little bit inconvenient? As very convenient, Mr.
Very
Mr.
convenient.
Mr. Dufresne. Then, considering that I am innocent of this crime, it strikes me as being decidedly inconvenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a fucking line.
That is good.
Yeah.
That's so good. I love where they're like, the gun, it holds 6 bullets, but there were 4 bullets in each victim.
Oh, right,
Meaning
yeah.
you were so merciless that you had to reload the gun to
Yeah.
put in 2 extra into each people. And that is
Yeah.
just like where it's like, oh, that's where they
Yeah.
got him. I really like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we spoil the movie?
Yeah,
This is spoilers.
So,
Spoilers for this movie.
spoilers, yeah.
There
So
are spoilers.
I want to be able to go back with fresh eyes and watch that scene, not knowing that he's innocent.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I did.
Yeah.
And
How did that feel?
well, I suspected he was innocent from like as soon as it goes to the courtroom. I was like, he's innocent, guaranteed. But then he's gonna be found guilty for sure. It really hurt me when the judge was like, and I hate your cold, dead eyes that are looking at me. You disgust me. And I'm like, but he's innocent. That's just really mean thing to say. Ow.
Some people just
Guilty.
look like that.
Yeah, that was rude, man. And then guilty and he sent him away. I'm like, ow, that would have really hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
But then I was like, that probably wouldn't have been my highest priority at that time.
Yeah. When you first watched it, did you think he was innocent? Or were you pretty
I
sold on-
suspected he was innocent. I mean,
Yeah.
it was called The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the cover is him with his prison shirt ripped open
Yeah.
in the Jesus pose.
Oh, yeah.
Staring
In
up
the rain.
in the rain.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the cover is...
my suspicions were
yeah.
aroused.
He is sent to Shawshank. We're introduced to Red then. Look, he's the guy who can get stuff for you.
Yeah.
He is.
That is his character.
Yeah. They arrive at the prison. Mm-hmm. So I said before, when that song comes up, that if I didn't care, I get little tingles.
Yeah.
Where that shot, the bird's eye shot over the prison,
Ooh.
and it has the Thomas Newman soundtrack playing.
Yeah.
That's borderline pornographic, that shot.
Yeah.
It's like, that's one of those shots where you're like, I'm in for a good movie.
Yeah.
You're like,
It's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, the bird's eye sort of pan over the prison as the cars come in.
I love the design of the bus, the 40s-ness of it. It's just like, that's cool. Because that's not really a period that we see anymore.
Maybe
as well.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Is this a common thing that when a bus or something with new prison, do they make a loud alarm sound across the speakers? Is that just to alert everyone?
Yeah, it's so that you can haze them as they come in.
Yeah, it's so that all the prisoners know, so they can come in and harass them as they come in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they take bets on who's going to crack first. Red, played by Morgan Freeman, says that he didn't think much of Andy Dufresne the first time he saw him. So he bet that Andy Dufresne would crack.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's cracking on the first night where they break down crying, saying they want to go home, that sort of thing. That's what they're going for.
Once that's explained and the prisoners on the bus are ushered in, there's this guy, it's called fishing. when they try and get someone to crack.
Yeah.
And there's this guy who's like walking along the fences there as they're walking, and he's like, reeling them in, reeling them in.
You're right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Oh, that was
the
good.
harassment. Yeah.
Yeah. We are also introduced to Nordlin the Warden.
Oh yes.
It's funny because it rhymes.
They're all lined up.
Yeah.
And he's telling them like the rules and stuff.
He says, "You are all convicted felons. That's why they sent you to me." I mean, they know that.
Yeah. We're aware.
He's just
it's just a prison, is it?
Yeah. I love the line. I believe in two things: the Bible and discipline.
Yeah.
And here you'll get both.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. Something
Put
like
your trust in the Lord. Your ass belongs to me.
That's right. That was
Yeah.
good. And this
That's
is
good.
kind of where the first... Because the Warden's journey is quite interesting because he is set up as the most Catholic guy right at the start.
Yep.
And in the book, the first Warden that we see is that. But then as it kind of goes forward... you go through the film.
There's a new atheist.
The character kind of
Dawkins
changes.
fan in the book.
Yeah.
The character
sort of
kinda-
evolves.
Yeah.
But because it's the same character, the religious aspect really dropped after the first half hour.
Oh, right.
And I think that's because.
Oh, I don't think it did in the movie.
No.
I
I'm with Zach in this one.
I disagree
Yeah.
because the whole swapping of the Bibles.
Yeah.
So he gives him the other Bible with the hole in it that had the pick that he used to escape.
Yeah.
And it's all like, boom, it's in your
Okay.
face. He literally put it in his face.
And there's so much going on.
Yeah,
there.
there's so much because it's...
the page that it was open to, when he opens the book and sees that the rock hammer slot has been carved out in the book, is Exodus.
Yeah.
Book of Exits.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
That was
it's
good.
great.
That was good.
All right, so this has one of my favorite lines. This scene where we're introduced to the Warden and introduced to Byron Hadley, the head
Yes.
guard. So
yeah.
one of my other favorite lines in the movie, this guy calls out when they're lining up and they're about to be deloused. This guy calls out, when do we... Norton goes, any questions? This guy calls out,
yeah.
when do we eat? Byron Hadley walks up to him and says, you eat when we tell you to eat. You shit when we tell you to shit. And you piss when we tell you to piss. Now you got that, you maggot dick motherfucker.
Yes. I wrote that down.
Oh yeah, because it was just after they explained that you shall not take the Lord's name in vain, and then he just goes up and shouts profanities at this.
I
dude.
wish that I could swear with
Yeah,
I don't know.
Such ferocity.
the lexical agility that Byron Hadley
It's
has.
great.
Yeah, no, his insults are continuously fantastic. That
Yeah,
whole
it's
film.
great.
The delousing as well. That looks.
Oh
rough.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
not fun.
Yeah.
No.
But probably very realistic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to. I
They
probably
get a
would.
big louse.
You don't think you'd want to get deloused?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no,
No?
that's fair. No.
I
do it for a video.
Yeah.
For some hot YouTube content.
Yeah. Keep your clothes on though, please.
Oh, yeah,
But they get what looks like flour just tossed on them, and then get sprayed with a fire hose,
Yeah.
and then sent to their cells without being able to put their clothes back on, which is extra humiliating.
Yeah.
Just to really rub it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get the fish scene, as you mentioned, and the guy that a lot of people betted on, he breaks.
He's about to crack. He's yelling. He's
Oh
like,
yeah.
he says, "I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here. I want my mom."
Yes.
And then this other prisoner yells out, "I had your mom. She wasn't that good."
Yeah. It was great.
Very,
and then they drag this rather portly man out and beat him to death.
Yeah.
Or
Very close.
beat
So,
him to a point where it's
Death,
said
yeah.
that the prisoners never see him again.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
implied.
no, he dies.
No, he dies.
Yeah, no, he
bleeds.
does die.
He bleeds out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he bleeds out in
okay,
the
well, there you
infirmary. Which is what a way to open your movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because from that point on, you're like,
Sets the tone.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
sort of prison we're dealing with.
and it's good. They go to eat their breakfast, and I love the little bird in the guy's jacket.
Oh,
and
yeah.
feeds them
Because he
grub.
finds a maggot in his food and he's like, ew. And then this guy's like, hey,
Brooks
you gonna
maggot.
eat that? And I was like, yes, we're gonna see a guy eat a maggot. And then he didn't eat the maggot, which was slightly disappointing for me that the prisoner did not eat the maggot.
Sure.
But instead gave it to a bird.
A very cute.
But it was also okay because it was a very cute bird. So there was pros and cons, I feel. Could have done a little bit of some for me, some for you. Just saying. I don't want to criticize the movie. But that was just a little criticism I had.
I can just imagine 13-year-old Bear Grylls watching this film for the first time, going, "Oh, what a missed opportunity!
Yeah, what a waste of protein."
What's going on here?
That's exactly what I was thinking. You're right, Bear Grylls.
We'll jump a little bit forward. It's on the baseball field. Andy is like, "Hey, Red, you're the guy who can get things," which he says multiple times to Red in this movie as well. Even when he knows that he's the guy to get things, he's still like, they say you're the guy who can get things. And he asks for a rock hammer because he's a bit of a rock enthusiast. Yeah. There's the whole thing with the sisters, which is in here as well, which I don't think it hits hard in the film compared to the book.
Yeah, it's
Which one?
not as hard. Like him getting preyed upon.
Yeah.
But, right. Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. Because they kind of...
It's implied.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let's just imply what happens.
Would you... okay. Personal question. You're unjustly incarcerated.
Yeah.
Wrongly convicted. You're sent to prison. Then you're preyed upon. You can't go around dropping the Johnson & Johnsons in the shower.
Yeah.
What do you do? How do you handle that situation?
Yeah, I don't know. Because, the film
Do you fight back?
says, you can fight back.
Yeah.
I'd
like to say I fight the good
Yeah,
fight.
exactly,
But prison is
but-
no fairy tale world, man.
Yeah.
It'd be... And there's 3-4 of them as well.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
so-
an example of what could have happened said in the movie where Red's like, hey, don't you be using that hammer I gave you, otherwise they'll trace it back to me on them. And he's like, I promise not to do that.
Yeah.
I
don't know if
would
the-
have then picked up that hammer and then clobbered the heck out of them.
All right.
I don't give a crap. I'm breaking Red's friendship. I'm using that goddamn hammer.
All right, so eventually
So there you go.
Andy Dufresne curries favor with the guards.
Yes.
Because he helps out Byron Hadley with...
This is cool.
with his tax-free loophole.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
his brothers had left him in an inheritance, And so he's like, you can just give it to your wife as a gift, and then the IRS won't take anything.
They're, what are they? They're tarring the roof.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Andy overhears him talking about this problem he's having with...
Yeah.
He'll have to pay tax on this inheritance. Yeah, and so he goes up to him, and the guy's about to... Byron Hadley's about to throw him
Yeah,
off the
he's
edge.
like, why
He
the
says-
hell did you break Red's...
He's such a great...
He's grabbing...
Byron Hadley's such a great character.
Oh, yeah, he's
And
great.
it's like, you're that smart banker what killed his wife, ain't you?
Yeah.
It's like, why should I listen to a smart banker like you?
Yeah.
It's like,
I could do it for... I could do it for...
yeah. And all he'd ask is two bottles of suds for each of his mates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was good,
Yeah. And so then he curried favor with the guards and got the attention of the warden,
Yeah.
which meant that when the sisters beat him up really badly,
Yeah.
there's this great bit where it's like Bugs, the head sister, gets 2 weeks in the hole. He goes to his room, Byron Hadley's standing there.
Yeah, his new friend Byron Hadley's like, hey buddy, guess who won't get punished for this? Pulls out his bat. And then beats him till his legs don't work.
Two things never happen after that. The sisters never bothered Andy again, and Bugs never walked again.
Yeah.
Oh, which is pretty good. He gets a poster of Rita Hayworth at this point. Totally not to hide anything that he might be doing in this room. He just wants it to look at.
And the key second woman character that we see.
She's really the female lead.
Yeah, she is the female lead. There's only two other females that we do see. One is the cheating wife. The other being the second poster that he gets.
No, you're forgetting the bank teller.
Oh,
at the
you're
end
right.
of the film.
Oh, of course.
And there's a
you're
couple.
right.
There's a couple more, and there's people in the grocery store.
Yeah, but they're not really key
they're
women
not key
characters. Unlike the two posters and his wife. I'd say the bankers.
Allow me
probably
to disagree with you here, Zach.
Okay,
The woman who says, make sure your man double bags it.
Oh,
He forgot
yes.
the bottom
Yeah,
ear
yeah.
fell out last time. I thought she was essential.
Yeah.
I loved the library element of this because the warden, he gives him a job in the library and is like, do your best. And he meets up with the guy with the crow. It's now a fully
Brooks
grown
Hadley?
crow.
Yeah.
Who has the coolest face
Oh.
of any old guy.
He's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah. I hope he sticks till the very end, this character, because I really like this character. He's really cool. I love his bird and stuff. I hope nothing bad happens to him
There's
later on.
so many great quotes in this scene, but also it kind of annoyed me that they have the Reader's Digest condensed books, because you're in prison. You've got all the time in the world to read a full book. Why would you read the condensed version? I get that, like, it's the 40s or the 50s now. Like, people, you know, if you're in prison, you may not be
Well, Andy
as
thought
big of a reader.
Andy thought the exact same thing, and that's why he wrote to the Senate every week.
For 6 years. Brooks is like, I've known 6 wardens in my time here at Shawshank. None of them would give you funds. I knew this one guy, his asshole would pucker up like a snare drum if you asked him for funds. Yes.
Yeah.
Because Andy starts doing the taxes for all the guards and the warden at this point as well.
Yeah.
Which is great. And then eventually, like, he gets like Red and the other guys to help him.
Yeah, to help out in tax season.
Yeah, season. This scene where it's like all the guards just lining up with their papers and he's just helping
Oh,
along.
and the baseball team.
And the baseball team.
Yeah,
The baseball team
of
comes in.
the prison of the opposing prison. Prison's baseball team,
Oh, that was
Which
good.
is great.
All of them remembered their W2s.
Yeah.
We get the heartbreaking moment with Brooks after this.
I'm not sure
as
I can
well.
talk about this, but
Ooh.
I'm choking up.
Because a big part of it is they let you out when you're of no use to society. You are institutionalized, as Red
You
likes
have
to
no
say.
friends.
Yeah. You don't know how to work
You
out
don't have
there.
any clout.
Yeah.
Brooks, the old man, gets released because his sentence is up.
Yeah.
Then he tries to work out his life in society, and it just ain't right for him.
Yeah.
So he decides to leave.
Yeah.
And he does.
And he doubts they'll kick up much of a fuss, not for an old con like him.
Yep.
And
Also, I don't know if this was intentional, but the last thing he saw were the banisters that were like the bars on a prison door. And I was like, that's...
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
It's
It's
such a well-made film, honestly.
Yeah, man, it's very good.
Just stuff like that.
At this point, does Andy then they respond to?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like, we got the funds. He reads the letter. At the end, it says, please stop writing us. And he's like, well, now I guess I got to send 2 letters a year.
Yeah. Which is great.
Which is really good.
Yeah.
Till they give him exactly what he wants.
This is, I think, like in terms of Tim Robbins' performance, I thought this was one of his best scenes in terms of the acting choices he made. So Andy Dufresne is left alone to pack up all all these books and such that the state senators had sent to the prison for the library.
This is great.
And he finds this record of an Italian opera, and he decides to play it, and he's in the prison guard's tower.
Yeah, because I think it's one of the things he requested for the library, because they get a like cassette thing and plays the real things.
And he starts playing it. Then he puts it on the mic for the loudspeakers all across the prison. So all across the prison, there's stuff playing. The guard who's supposed to be watching him is taking a dump. And it's like, Andy, do you hear that?
Open this door. Let me in.
Yeah. And so then he's sitting there just listening to this, and everyone in the prison is listening to this like beautiful music. And obviously they've been in prison, so they haven't heard beautiful music in a long time.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Not listening to music for ages. Oh, just
incredible.
that's just...
Then the warden and Hadley come up and they're like, Andy, open the door, Andy. And then Andy leans forward, about to turn it off. and then decides just to turn it up.
Yeah.
It's like this little moment of rebellion that he's at.
Yeah.
And then he leans back, and just Tim Robbins does this thing with his hand, this sort of like nervous thing with his hands, where he like doesn't quite know where to put his hands out. It's just a brilliant moment. Just great performance.
Yeah, no, I do agree.
Yep.
It's a good scene. I liked Red's moment when he's like, to this day, I still have no idea what those two Italian ladies were singing about. Truth is, I don't want to know. Some things are better left unsaid.
I like to think it's something so beautiful it can't be said in words.
Yeah.
Kind of thing that makes your heart cry out because of it.
The quote as well, where they are getting all the books they want, and one of them is like the Count of Monte Cristo by
Crisco
by Alexandra Dumbass.
Alexander Dumbass.
That's good.
Dumas.
It's Dumas.
You'll like it. It's about a prison break. I guess we should file under educational there.
Yeah, that was good. I like that line.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good.
I don't know if you noticed, but the song that one of the guys was listening to by Hank Williams, the yodeling kid song that was a viral meme 2 years ago. Remember the yodeling kid? He was in Walmart yodeling away.
Oh,
I don't know
that.
what to
Yes.
do.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do remember that. Was that great?
Yep. And then I think the kid showed up in a remix of Old Town Road. Good on him.
Great.
Good on you, kid.
Hey, kid.
Great.
Good stuff, mate.
Yeah.
Relevant stuff talking about 2-year-old memes, Sandro.
So good. We are introduced to Tommy Williams because the 60s are here, and here comes he's just the human version of the 60s, really. Andy is like, I'm going to teach you how to read because it's his new project, as Red puts it.
Yeah, it's great. I liked this thief / Elvis impersonator dude.
Yeah.
He was pretty great.
He was good, yeah. The actor
Rockabilly Rascal.
Yeah. We liked him immediately.
yeah. He reveals that he was in a prison a couple of years ago where he met a guy called Elmo.
Elmo Blatch.
Elmo Blatch, that's it.
It's not the fun type of Elmo. It's the went in and shot 2 people kind of Elmo.
Yeah.
Which is still pretty Elmo.
Yeah, it's not tickle me Elmo. It's incarcerate me Elmo.
Incarcerate me, Elmo.
My favorite.
This is where we get the first fart joke of the film, where he's like, he was so high strung, you cut a loud fart, he'd jump in the air. And from this point onwards, there's a fart joke every half hour.
Yep.
There's a lot of fart joke in this movie.
One of them is my favorite quote of the movie.
All right,
so there
interesting. There we go. But he reveals that in a previous prison, he met a Blatch who was bragging about this one time he killed a golf pro and his lover, and the lover's wife did the time for it.
Yep.
And Williams puts 2 and 2 together and goes, hang on, that could be Andy, and tells him the story.
Yeah, and Andy's like, well, bugger.
Yeah. So Andy goes to the warden.
Yeah.
And he says to the warden, "This is my chance to get out." And then the warden is real sneaky, and he says, "This guy has obviously heard your tale of woe."
Yeah.
And he looks up to you and respects you, and he's trying to make you feel better. And Andy says, "Don't you see? This is my chance to get out." And he's like, and then the warden's like, "No, we can't do anything." Then Andy says, "Sir, you're being obtuse."
Yes, you've been obtuse.
Obtuse? And he's like, "What did you just call me?" It's like, you know that if I got out, I'd never tell anyone anything about your money. It's like,
Yeah. Which I think hits harder in the film than it does in the book, because in the book, the money is not really a thing.
Yes.
Right.
And so
but
to have that
he's a
aspect
villain in
there,
this one.
Yeah.
right.
Like
So what happens in the
works a
book
bit
then?
better. He calls the guy obtuse, and then he pretty much just goes to the hole from that point.
Yeah.
It's just like, how dare you call me obtuse? Because I think the warden at that point was a very aggressive man.
Right.
Yes.
Rather than because it's like the third one in the book, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
So
yeah. So he calls him
the whole-
obtuse, and the guy, and it's like, how dare you say these things about it? Shut the hell up! I'm going to send you into the hole for a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the meantime, while that's happening,
Another big change from the book at this point as well. Yeah. Go on.
What's his face?
Tommy.
He does his test.
Yeah.
For his high school diploma. He finishes that up, and then thinks he's done garbage, but he sends the test anyway to get it approved to see what the score was.
And he got a C minus or something like that. Like he just passed.
Yeah, which is just passed.
I like the scene where the diploma comes in the mail because he gets it and it's like, well, are you gonna open it or are you just gonna stand there with your thumb up your butt? Thumb up my butt sounds better.
Yeah.
And then a guard comes to Andy in the hole, gives him his food and says, by the way, your boy passed. C minus.
And then it wraps up Tommy's character arc. Because then massive change from the book. Because in the book, it's not really touched on, but the warden's like, yeah, I sent him to another prison. We don't know what happened. Whereas in this, they definitively say that a guard shot
it was a
him.
good scene where it was like he takes him outside sort of the compound area to talk with him. He gives him a smoke and he's like, all right, so you're the key witness here. You're the key witness. Would you testify in front of a court that you heard this and that this other person is responsible for these murders and other things? And he's like, yes, I would. And the guy's like, that's what I thought. And then he orders the guard to shoot him.
Yeah, which is
pretty brutal.
It's
a bit like, as the audience, you're like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. Because we know what's going to happen. We see that. I'm going, no, don't say that. And the guy says it and you're like, no.
We should clarify that the warden is getting dirty money because he has free labor and then people pay him off to not take up projects.
Yeah.
Because he's using the prisoners to do all the
Andy
work.
Dufresne launders that money. So Andy Dufresne is crucial to the to the warden's project.
Because he makes up this whole extra person. It doesn't even exist.
Randall Stevenson?
Randall Stevenson, something like that.
And it's revealed, that he's also taken a little bit of money from himself and putting it somewhere else. Well, what are we going to be doing? What's he doing?
Well, and so the after Tommy is killed, the warden goes to Andy in the hole, visits Andy in the hole.
Monologue.
This is one of my. It's probably my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, it's good.
Bit in the scene. It's like I'm not gonna do your dirty laundry for you anymore, warden. And he's like, no, nothing stops.
Yeah.
It keeps going. It's like and he's like, no more protection if you don't keep doing it. No more protection from the guards. We'll throw you out of that 1-bedroom Hilton. Throw you down with the sodomites.
Oh, that's right as well.
That library of yours. We'll have ourselves a little book burning. We'll see the smoke for miles.
The guy who plays the warden is phenomenal.
Am I understood? Or am I being obtuse?
Yes. And then it comes back around. Andy reveals to Red that he wants to open up a hotel in Mexico. And that's like when he says, I've kind of been saving a little bit of money under this alias I have as well. And like he asks Red, would you come help me if this is a possibility? And Red's like, he's too institutionalized.
Yeah.
I'm too
institutionalized. Oh, this is that great chat. Yeah. Okay. So,
which I think is word for word from the book again. Like they just go for it. It's just the exact same, which is excellent.
In this chat, once again, Andy and Red disagree on the value of hope.
Yeah.
Andy says, you gotta have something, you gotta have hope. And then Red says, hope, what's hope? It's just shitty pipe dreams.
Yes.
Which
comes back around. Yes, I read that as well. It's the foreshadowing there is just so... Oh, it's good. And that's what I like about Stephen King as a writer is he's all foreshadowing. He will tell you that a character is going to die 3 chapters before the character dies. And that's why I don't know what you think of him as a writer, but that's why he's like one of my favorites. It's like
that's good.
The foreshadowing is really good. The pipe dream part was pretty funny. He reveals as well that in a field in Buxton, there is this black volcanic rock that has no meaning.
This is such a random thing.
This is the stupidest thing in the movie.
It's pretty unrealistic.
It's this field in Buxton, and it's got this nice big long rock fence and a field of hay and this big tree like something out of a Robert Frost poem. And it's like the fact that Red remembers this conversation from like 2
Yeah.
years ago and then finds it.
Well.
How many freaking fields are there in Buxton?
That's true. According to the book, though, this is the day before he escapes.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
he starts writing the memoir that becomes the Shawshank, like a novella, the day after he escapes.
Yeah.
Right.
So he would remember it at that point.
Yeah, and also you could say, it's a prison and there's not too many things that you like remember, but this is such a weird left field conversation that they had that Red remembers it, that sort of thing. You could argue that, obviously.
Yeah.
But it is weird that this is a thing. Is this in the books?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It is weird.
All right. Everyone's afraid Andy's going to kill himself.
Yeah.
Because he's been in the hole for 2
yeah.
months. He's acting very strange.
He's bought a rope.
He got a rope off Haywood.
Yeah.
He's not talking to anyone. We have the final night that we will know in the future is the final night, where he talks with the warden. He does like the final papers. He puts the papers in the safe. He gives the warden his Bible.
Yeah.
And he goes...
What we assume is his ledger.
Yeah. And shines his shoes.
Yes.
Because the warden
shoes.
orders him to shine his shoes.
Love the shoes.
Yeah.
And then we see the scene where he sort of walks back to his cell.
And when you
Red-
watch it for the first time, you think he's going to kill himself. Did you
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
that?
I
100%.
thought he was gonna die for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
and
it's
Red,
so
like
good.
he locks eyes with Red. They just sort of stare at each other as he sort of walks back to his cell.
Yeah.
Walks in and locks the cell.
It fades to black with him staring at the rope as well.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I thought was like, it's such a good like moment.
Yeah.
And then,
Next morning, all the prisoners do their daily routine of walking outside their cell and like
call,
doing the sort of roll call thing, and then like a guard spots that he's not there, and I was convinced he was dead at this point.
Yeah, really?
I was like,
I think when I first saw it, I was
yeah,
as well.
I thought it was like,
Yeah.
is this going to be a fake out or is he dead? Because I wasn't sure. But as soon as he didn't appear there, I was like, he's dead. Damn it.
It's a good moment.
Because it was like a very tense scene.
Yeah.
And then-
Just the way they set it up with Red being
yeah.
I've spent some long nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was by far the
That was
longest.
the longest.
Yeah. And then the guard is like, hey, come on, you're wasting my time here.
Yeah.
Come out of here.
Yeah.
And he walks up and then he looks into the sun and he goes, oh my God.
Where there's no one in the cell. Is
Yeah.
this where you got your quote? Because there is another related quote.
Yes,
at this point.
this is
I
the
love
quote.
this one.
This is the quote. So then the warden comes in there.
He's incensed.
And he's like, what? Man up and vanished like a fart in the wind.
It's good.
This bit comes in, and this is enough. Then they really cast the warden to perfection. So he comes in, and he's like, I want to see that friend of his. Who? Him. And he points at Red as he walks past the cell. Red comes in, and he said, this is a conspiracy.
Yes.
You're
yes,
all
yes,
in
yes,
on it.
yes.
You're in on it. He's in on it. Even she's in on it. And he throws some of the rocks from Andy's rock collection at the poster.
And they go through.
And it goes through.
It's such a good moment. It's
Yeah.
just and then like he goes up and is revealed there's a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
And then the voiceover is like, in 1966, Andy Dufresne escaped from a Shawshank prison.
Damn.
And then we get the flashback.
Yes,
like he
where
was carving his name in it.
So it's the start of the film, and he's carving names into the wall, and as he's carving, a big chunk of rock, is peeled off, and then Morgan Freeman narrates the fact that no one understood better the pressure and erosion of time and stuff on rocks.
Yeah.
To indicate
I imagine it appealed to Andy's meticulous nature.
Yeah. Because obviously it's like a weak point in the prison that time has made all these rocks weak and sort of easy to peel
I think
off
it's
and stuff.
concrete, but
The concrete and stuff. And so obviously he starts mining away at the side of the wall and taking small handfuls of his wall, and when he's out in the courtyard, just letting it out onto the ground.
Ah, yes.
It was clever.
He's got the thing in his pocket.
And then, so it shows him, and then I think Red says something like, around the time that Tommy died, I guess Andy decided he'd had about enough.
Yeah.
And, so it shows Andy crawling through the wall. He then uses this big chunk of concrete to smash a hole in a sewage pipe.
Oh yeah, but every time a lightning strikes, so no one else can hear it. It's like, as the lightning strikes, because you see the light first, then hear the sound, so he times it. So when the light goes, he sees the light, he slams it just as the thunder hits, which is very
Because
clever.
if we hadn't established this, Andy is a smart motherfucker.
Oh,
He's a clever boy. Like, he ties his belongings to him with the rope at the back, so when he's crawling through the pipe, he doesn't have to hold on to them.
Yeah.
Which is clever. He is what we say in the business, a smart boy.
Yeah, he's a smart boy.
He's a smart
But
boy.
I think this is maybe one of my favorite quotes in the entire movie. Is Andy did like he was told, buff those shoes to a high mirror shine. The guard simply didn't notice. Neither did I. I mean, seriously, how often do you really look at a man's shoes?
Yeah, it's good.
Andy crawled to freedom through 500 yards of shit-smelling foulness I can't even imagine. Or maybe I just don't want to. 500 yards.
Yeah.
That's the length of 5 football fields. Just shy of a half a mile.
Yeah, it's good.
And he wouldn't have known that the end of the pipe wasn't like gated. It could have been gated, and then he would have to go all the way back.
Yeah, well,
And it's just,
he did have the hammer and stuff,
Yeah.
so maybe he could have hammered his way through.
In the book, it's pretty obvious that he had the blueprint to the prison at this point as well, and like he could like plan that as well, which I don't think he did.
No, that's not
this.
a
It's not
point
really
they
a
make
point
in
here.
the movie. Yeah.
But,
Well, I feel like he could, like he's been there for 20 years. He surely could have cased.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Could I ask one of the guards, hey, do you know if the sewage pipe is blocked off by iron bars at the end?
Why do you want to know? No reason.
Not at all. I was just curious about our sewage system. You know, plumbing's a big part of everything. And the guard's like, yep, cool. This seems legit. No, there's no bars at the end there. Great talking with you. Better do my taxes.
It's revealed he also swapped out the books that he's been keeping.
Bible.
He kept the rock hammer in that Bible. In the scene where the warden sizes Andy up, it comes to his cell.
Oh, yes.
He gives the warden the Bible. The warden doesn't open it, and there's this great exchange between the warden. It's like, "What's your favorite verse?" And Andy says, "Watch ye, for you know not when the master of the house cometh." And then the warden says, "I like that one." Anyway.
Which is funny because the warden's there. He's the master of the house.
Yeah. And then the warden exits the room and he says, "Oh, by the way, I almost forgot." And he hands the Bible back and he says something like, "Keep this close. Remember, salvation lies within." And he's got the rock.
Which is great.
That is good. That is so good.
I only noticed after the movie, and then I was looking back on it. I was like, what is that hammer book thing? Because I saw there was a picture online. I was like, oh, that was the Bible. Wait a minute. That was some clever film stuff.
It's clever writing. It really is. He leaks the books from the warden to the Daily Bugle. Spider-Man's in there? Okay. What's going on there?
Spider-Man exists in this universe of Shawshank.
But then, like, Hadley gets arrested when the police rock up and the warden
Kills himself.
yes, and he makes it to Mexico, and then Red gets paroled with one of the best like monologues as well when he leaves.
That parole hearing is so great. It's like, do you think that you've been rehabilitated? And then Red said, because he's done 2 so far where he's just like, "Oh yes, sir, no threat to society here, sir."
Yeah.
And then he says, well now let me see. I don't know what the hell that means.
Yes.
And it's like, well, it means you think you're refit to join. Oh, I know what you think it means. But to me, it's just a bullshit word. A politician's word. So that young men like you can wear a suit.
Yeah. He delivers it so well, and it's all one shot. And
then the guy's like, accepted. To be fair, it was probably something like all the other prisoners are like, I feel I'm rehabilitated, but this one guy has something different to say, something a bit more real, something a bit, and he's like, maybe this this guy is ready to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Done.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a weird way to...
Yeah,
to-
but also maybe it was a fresh guy and being called out like that so hard. He's like, damn, all right, fair enough.
Yeah. But I love that bit where Morgan Freeman's like, do I regret what I did? There's not a day goes by I don't want to go back to like myself as an 18-year-old. It's like, I want to...
Yeah, that was good.
I want to
so good.
talk to him. Talk some sense into him. Tell him how things are.
He goes to the same like halfway house as Brooks as well. We get that moment where we see what he carved in the roof. He gets the same job. And this was like one of my favorite pages in the book was where he was talking about how he always had to ask permission to piss.
Yeah. Just before we recorded this podcast, by the way, I asked permission of Sandro and Zach to piss in the exact same way.
Were you able to?
Yeah, I could.
Excellent.
Yeah.
But only because you asked.
I can't squeeze out a drop without say so.
Well, in the book,
quote.
it goes like one step further, and it's like I could only piss at 35 past the hour because that's when the toilet break was in prison.
Right,
And it's like once it passes that 5-minute margin, I don't need to anymore. And it was just like that's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
He goes to the field in Buxton. He finds the rock. Underneath it is a tin. There's a letter with like an update on what Andy's been up to. He invites him to come and work.
This
for
is
him.
a weird bit in the movie as
Yeah.
well. This is something I want to call out. Andy's like, remember the name of that town? And then Red looks up and he says Zigatuana or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And it's like, what an arsehole of Andy not to write down the name of the town in the letter
so
again.
true.
It's like, you're
Maybe
just
it's-
hoping that he remembers this foreign word.
To be fair, that could be like a so he can't be traced. It was another precaution, which is why he told Red himself.
Yeah.
So that if someone else randomly finds it, he still can't be traced.
I wouldn't know exactly what it was.
But it would still suck because all the money was still there, so...
But yeah, he goes to the beach.
And it ends with Morgan Freeman saying, I hope the Pacific is as blue as they say it is.
Mm-hmm.
I hope.
It comes back and then just ends, and it's like, it's good.
It comes back
The
around.
final song's
Now
excellent.
he's finally hoping.
I don't know about you guys, but this is a dead dad. This is the highest we can give a film.
This
is
We're definitely
right up
giving
there.
it the highest recommendations we can, which of course is the Dead Dad Award.
What's
Yes.
the... Okay,
know.
I'm not
So,
aware of the...
Named after The Lion King.
Okay.
Where we needed a name for the award, and of course the key thing you remember from The Lion King is how his dad died.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in this one, I don't think there's a lot of people who died.
Yes.
But none of them are like guaranteed dads.
Yeah, there's
I
no
think
confirmed dead
except possibly like Dufresne. He was married, but then they split up and they got shot. So it's like it's a metaphorical dead dad.
Ooh.
Like he could have been a dad if these things hadn't happened.
But the opportunity for
dad
him to be a dad in that moment died.
is gone. So it's a metaphorical dad.
I mean, Brooks Hadlin was a fatherly figure within...
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's true.
And he died.
It was He was a father to Jake the crow.
Which
Oh,
dead
yeah.
dad,
Dead
dead dad award.
Do you
And
agree? It's higher. It's the highest.
Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely. That's a triple dead dad
This is
award.
the Dead Dad Award,
Yeah.
which I think is the third
Yes.
dead dad, meaning we've had more dead dads than Vincent Deceasedman, which is the lowest you can get.
Yes.
So there we go.
Yeah. So
All right, well that is that review. Now it's time for our world famous segment. What could they do for a sequel for Shawshank Redemption? There is technically part of a sequel. It's Stephen King, and he references all of his books in his books. It's technically all a part of like a big universe. Your prison Shawshank is in the center of Castle Rock, the fictional town that kind of like ties all of his stuff together. In the TV show Castle Rock season 1 from last year, which I watched about a month ago, the premise of the first season is they're at Shawshank. The warden also kills himself. That's like a big like running thing with the wardens from that point onwards, because like Castle Rock's a cursed town. It all started in the 60s.
It's like Defense of the Dark Arts in Harry Potter. They just all end of
exactly.
the year just die.
But it's revealed that he has been keeping a boy in the basement of the prison.
What?
And it's like, who is this kid? That's basically the premise of it.
Yikes.
I bet Shawshank plays a big part.
That's Andy Dufresne's son.
Andy Dufresne's son.
Son of a Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
But that's probably the closest we'll ever get to a sequel. What do you think they could do for a sequel?
Okay, so my idea,
Yep.
Shawshank Redemption, Return to the Shank.
Yep.
And
Nice.
Andy Dufresne has to tunnel his way back into Shawshank.
Yes. Why is this? Why does he have to go back in to the place he never wanted to come back to?
I don't know. I feel there's some sort of MacGuffin being kept in Shawshank, and
The FBI are like, you gotta get back in there, be a
Yeah.
man on the inside.
yeah. But like Rambo in First Blood Part 2, he doesn't
Yeah.
want to return.
Yeah.
He finally tunnels his way back in, and he tunnels his way into the shower block, and all the showers are on, and he rips off the clothes that he was wearing. He walks off at the shower head.
And all the other prison guys are like, what the?
That is a Friday the 13th Part 4 moment where it's just
Wow.
a complete parody of the first one.
Wow.
Oh, that would be funny. That's
Yep.
good.
Yeah.
I hate my idea for a sequel.
Okay, well, go to.
And it doesn't really work because they don't really put... Okay, so my idea is it takes place during the first season of Orange is the New Black.
Uh-huh.
Piper Chapman is like exploring the prison and finds this area in the basement of the prison near the laundry where there's just this long hallway. And she's like, where does this lead to? So she goes into the hallway. As she walks through, the walls, they get like a bit like mossy. It gets darker. There's a certain smell in the air.
Oh, no.
She comes out into another laundry. And there's
What?
guys there. What's this?
What?
And yes, she travels back in time to Shawshank.
Wow.
And shit, I don't know what happens.
Yeah.
And maybe they could both team up and go back through the time travel thing
Could
and go
it,
to
could
a...
it be called Red is the New Black?
Red is the New Black.
Nice.
Yeah. She teams up.
Shank is the new
She
Shaw.
teams up like with Red as soon as he got in as well. And
Yeah.
they're both like, we both got in prison. What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. Zach, what's yours?
I love
Okay.
it. I love it.
So, there's a lot to work with here.
There is a lot.
I
know.
and-
Yeah.
No, you know me. I usually like to go and grab any movie and then just make it a military movie. This is most funny when it's a family-friendly rom-com and like Elmo has to pick up her AK and be like, I've got to defend Sesame Street. Or something like that. But this film is already like gritty, down-to-earth military kind of thing.
Sure.
So we need to flip it.
Okay.
We need to reverse it.
Oh, you're going family
Talking
friendly.
Internet reversies here.
Yeah. Do an internet reverses. This is a family-friendly rom-com.
Set in Shawshank?
Yes.
Yes.
Set in Shawshank.
Like a sick.
Yes, like a sitcom. Yes,
Sitcom
yeah.
in
It's a
Shawshank.
sitcom in Shawshank.
There is an idea there. A sitcom set in a prison could be cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd watch that. Jack, thank you so much for joining us this episode.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Where can people keep in touch with what you do?
So I'm in a comedy group with my good friend Sandra Foucher and
Ooh.
Jacob
Sandra who?
Saka, who has also been on this podcast.
Yes.
In a group called Noodle PhD. We're directed by Paul Noodle.
Yep, he's a Paul Noodle.
And he
my
is a
favourite
PhD candidate
Yes.
at the Australian Catholic University.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
A candidate for a doctorate in bioethics. So.
Yes. That's
Nice. So if you're in Australia looking at things, go
Yeah.
check out Paul
Yeah,
Noodle's
I'm on-
Australian Comedy Fest.
I'm on OK Cupid.
Cool. People can
Nice.
connect with you there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look up the links. Look up. We got a Facebook.
We do.
We got our Instagrams.
Yes.
We got a Spotify. We got a podcasting app on iTunes, whatever that is.
Yep.
We got YouTube. Sometimes maybe yes or no.
Pretty much
yes.
all the time. Yeah.
Pretty much all the time now.
Now it's actually
We got-
working.
We got our email.
Yes,
Send us
if
an
you want to
email.
send us an email, that is
Make up
oldiebutagoodiepod
reviews.
at gmail.com.
Hit that bell button.
Boom. If you want to help out the show, number one way to do it is just tell a friend.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, do you like the Shawshank Redemption? Have a
Do you
listen
like
to
the
this episode.
Shank Shaw arc of coming of age?
What? All right.
It's a redemption. I don't know.
That makes sense. And that is the best way to help us out.
And in a way, Shawshank Redemption and Baby's Day Out really
Yeah,
thematically
Yeah.
a lot of parallels.
You're right. You got
a man and a baby wrongly taken from their everyday
from
life.
from the height of society down to the lowest of society.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can keep in touch all those ways. Links in the description.
Yeah. So next,
Yes.
we got to figure out what we're doing next week. You're choosing.
All right, here we go.
We got several interesting films,
All right.
such
Hit
as
me.
Ed Wood.
Oh, I know Ed Wood.
It's a good old Tim Burton film. It's got surprise Johnny Depp in
What?
a Tim Burton film. What?
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's not usual Johnny Depp.
No.
It's serious Johnny Depp
Yeah,
from memory.
it's all about the director Ed Wood.
I think that's in
and
black and white as well. That's a big,
Yes.
again, as pretty much everything has been in this month, a big Oscar film. So
Then we've got Jason's Lyric,
sounds cool.
which is an erotic romance
Oh,
film
no.
about a couple of people falling in love.
Really?
Yes.
Wow,
It's
what a
cou-
twist.
It's an erotic film about people falling in love.
Nah, pass.
Wow.
I don't.
I want loveless.
want-
Yeah. I want there to be no passion
Yes.
in my erotic films.
Yeah, I want it to be purely perfunctory.
Yes.
Just
It's a biological
two-
necessity.
two human meat sacks
Yes. Only
meeting each other
Yeah.
and deciding that this
Procreating.
could be inadequate.
Yeah.
Our rendezvous.
we have the River Wild.
Okay.
With Meryl Streep and Kevin Bacon.
Meryl Streep throat.
Yes. Are on a rafting trip
Yep.
that's invaded by criminals.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like
It's a
Kevin
bit-
Bacon.
I've
Okay.
not heard of a movie that involves a rafting trip.
That
before.
sounds fun. All right. Is there anything else?
And then we got the Scout, which is Brendan Fraser.
yes.
Plays baseball.
Oh.
Ooh.
Another baseball movie.
It's a comedy. Yay!
Ooh.
Baseball.
All right. So Ed Wood, I do want to watch that.
It's not bad.
Jason's Lyric, I know. There's so
no,
many films like
erotic.
that. We're at a point in the 90s where every rom-com is the same.
Okay.
Yes.
It's not like now, where
Yeah.
they're quite...
I want to watch every action film that's the same because I liked the first one and I like the
I
last
also
one.
disagree with that.
Time Cop was great, Sandro.
What was the Brendan Fraser one called? The Scout?
Yeah, The Scout.
That-
It's a baseball film.
Yeah, look, I like Brendan Fraser, but probably not.
Can we
so
not do baseball films?
between Ed Wood and The River Wild, I'm gonna go for... Once again, it's a huge risk. I'm
yes,
gonna go...
let's do River Wild because it will be great.
Yes, let's get into the River Wild next episode and wrap it up with our favorite quote from the Shawshank Redemption.
Ooh, yes.
I'm going for a comical one because I love this
they're
quote.
great.
To this day, I have no idea what those two Italian ladies were singing about. Truth is, I don't want to know. Some things are better left unsaid.
It's a miracle. Man up and vanished like a fart in the wind.
I think mine has to be: you eat when I tell you to eat, you shit when I tell you to shit, and you piss when I tell you to piss. You got that, you mag dick motherfucker. A personal challenge to you: call at least 3 people a maggot dick motherfucker this week. To all you out there,
Yeah, to
everyone out there listening,
Yes.
you'll be amazed at what happens in your life.
Yeah.
When you start calling people a maggot dick motherfucker, doors start to open. It's
Doors
some,
start to- whole
it's some
new.
real The Secret stuff. The universe
Yeah.
starts answering questions.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. That's the episode.
Thank you for having me.
See ya.
Bye.